I showed up for my birthday dinner at their house. My grandkids ran to hug me, but my daughter-in-law pulled them back. "Let's not start that again," she said, and closed the door. My son didn't even come outside. I ate alone in the parking lot with a slice of cake. The next time they invited me over, they found the locks didn't fit anymore because I'm Frank. I'm 67 and retired now, living in Salem, Oregon. I spent over 40 years working HVAC. Crawling through tight spaces, sweating through hot summers, freezing through winters, I did it because I wanted my son to have a better life. I only had one kid, Adam. I raised him right. Or I thought I did. I lost my wife 6 years ago. She was my best friend. We were married for 38 years. Cancer took her fast. After that, I clung to family like a lifeline. Adam had married Bree by then. I didn't like her, but I didn't say anything. She was cold. Always polite, but distant. I told myself I had to accept her for Adam's sake. Adam and Bree had twin daughters a few years after they got married. Maddie and Chloe. Those girls became my whole world. I picked them up from daycare, took them to the park, babysat when their parents had plans. I kept snacks and toys in my truck just for them. They called me Papa. I was there every week. But Bree started pulling back. At first, it was excuses. They're napping. They're sick. It's not a good time. Then came the silence. Texts went unanswered. Calls went straight to voicemail. I asked Adam what was going on, and he always said, "Things are just busy right now, Dad." I tried to believe him. I really did. But when my birthday came around this past March, things changed for good. They invited me for dinner. It had been over a month since I'd seen the girls. I was so damn happy. I got dressed up. I brought a cake. I even printed out a photo of the 4 of us from the last time I saw them. I was going to frame it and hang it at home. When I pulled up, the girls ran outside, yelling Papa. I got out of the truck, arms wide open, heart full. Then Bree came out behind them. She grabbed both girls by the wrists and yanked them back. "Let's not start that again," she said. And then she closed the door, right in my face. I stood there for a minute waiting, hoping Adam would come out. He didn't. He didn't even open the curtain to look. I sat in my truck with the cake on my lap. I had a plastic fork in the glove box. I ate one slice. Couldn't taste it. Then I drove home and stared at the wall all night. That night broke something in me. A few weeks later, I got a letter from the mortgage company. It had my name on it. I forgot I was still on the paperwork. I helped them buy that house. Gave them $25,000 cash for the down payment. Co-signed because Adam's credit was trash back then. They promised to refinance later and take me off. Never happened. I called the mortgage company. They told me they'd missed 2 payments. They were trying to refinance, but it wasn't looking good. That's when something clicked. I went to the courthouse, talked to a lawyer. I asked what it would take to buy the house. The lawyer looked at me sideways at first, but when I explained everything, she didn't argue. She told me it was legal. Messy but legal. So I did it. Quietly. The bank wanted out. They knew Adam and Bree couldn't keep up. I offered cash. They accepted. Took about 4 weeks total. I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to see how far they'd go. Then, out of nowhere, Bree texted me. Said they were doing a cookout for Memorial Day weekend and that I was invited. No apology. No mention of what happened on my birthday. I said sure. I showed up 2 hours early with a locksmith. The house was empty. Bree and Adam had gone to the store. It didn't take long. We changed the locks, installed a new deadbolt, and I sat on the porch with the deed in my hand. When they came back, Bree got out of the car first. She looked confused when her key didn't work. Tried again. Nothing. Then Adam got out. He looked at me, then the door. "What the hell's going on?" Bree said. "I own the house now," I told them. "The refinance didn't go through. You never paid me back. I was still on the deed. I bought the house." "You can't do that," Adam said, his voice breaking. "I did," I said. "Your stuff is still inside. You can pick it up with a sheriff's escort on Monday. Or I can have it boxed up." Bree started crying. Adam just stood there. And the girls? They stayed in the car, watching us through the window. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. But I didn't feel sorry for them. Not after how they treated me. Not after they used me like a wallet and tossed me aside. I stood up, walked back inside. closed the new door, locked it behind me. I sat down on the couch, looked around, and for the first time in months, I didn't feel invisible. After that day, I thought it was done. I figured they'd leave, get a place, and move on with their lives. I was wrong. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of pounding on the door. Not knocking, pounding. I looked through the peephole and saw Adam standing there. Alone. He looked rough, like he hadn't slept. Hair a mess, clothes wrinkled. I opened the door a crack. "Dad," he said. "We need to talk." I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. "What do you want?" He rubbed his face. "You can't do this to my kids. They don't understand. You're their grandpa. This is gonna mess them up." I laughed. I actually laughed. "I'm gonna mess them up? You let your wife slam the door in my face on my birthday. Adam, you didn't even come out. You didn't call. You didn't care. I didn't know what to do," he said quietly. "You do now," I said. "You have till Monday." He looked down. Then he looked back up, and I saw something change in his eyes, like he decided to stop pretending. "You think you can buy your way into respect? Into this family? Money doesn't make you right, Dad." I stepped closer. "I didn't buy anything. I just took back what I already owned." He shook his head and walked away. That should have been the end of it. But Bree doesn't like to lose. 2 days later, I got a notice from the county. Someone had reported me for elder abuse. Yep. You read that right? Elder abuse. They claimed I was mentally unstable, that I tricked Adam into signing papers years ago and used coercion to take over the property. They said I was unfit to live alone. It was Bree. I know it was her. A county worker showed up at my door. She asked a lot of questions, looked around the house, took notes. I answered everything calm and clear, gave her my lawyer's number. When she left, she said, "You seem more put together than most people I meet. But we still have to follow through." I called my lawyer and told her what happened. She told me not to worry, but I could tell from her tone that this was going to get uglier. And it did. A few days later, Bree posted on Facebook a long, dramatic post full of lies. Said her abusive father-in-law had stolen their home, that he was a danger to her kids, that she feared for their safety. People started commenting. I don't have Facebook, but a neighbor showed me. Some of the comments were from people I knew, people I'd helped fix furnaces for, people I thought were friends. "You need help. Disgusting. Call a lawyer, girl. Get your house back." Adam didn't say anything publicly, but he didn't stop her either. They made me out to be a monster. But then something unexpected happened. A woman named Sharon, Bree's old coworker, messaged my lawyer. She had screenshots. Messages Bree had sent over the years, bragging about how she was gonna cut the old man out once the house was in their name. Talking about how she couldn't wait to be done pretending to be nice to me. There were even jokes about making the girls stop calling me Papa so they'd forget about me faster. My lawyer printed them out. She said, "This changes everything." We went to court. Bree and Adam tried to argue that I manipulated them, that I used money to control them, that I emotionally abused the family. Their lawyer wasn't great. He looked like a guy they found on Yelp the night before. We presented the deed, the original mortgage documents, the texts, the screenshots. The judge wasn't amused. "You lived off this man's money. You accepted his help. And when it was inconvenient, you tried to erase him," the judge said. "I see no reason to reverse anything. Case dismissed. They were forced to move." Bree posted another meltdown on Facebook, but by then, people had stopped listening. But it wasn't over, because just when I thought they'd finally leave me alone, something happened that made it all worse. They moved into the apartment complex down the street from me, 3 blocks away. They started showing up at the park where I walk every morning. Bree would glare. Adam would pretend not to see me. The girls would run toward me, still yelling, "Papa," but Bree would stop them every time. And now I'm stuck living near people who act like I'm the villain, when all I ever did was give too much, for too long. But I'm not done yet. They took something from me that I can't get back. My peace, my dignity. Now it's my turn to take something they can't replace. After they moved into that apartment complex down the street, things didn't quiet down. If anything, they got more twisted. At first, I thought maybe they'd just stay away and let it go. But Bree doesn't know how to let go. She knows how to hold a grudge and play dirty. And Adam, he's not much better. He follows her lead like he doesn't even have his own thoughts anymore. A week after the court ruling, I came outside one morning and found my truck keyed. Deep scratches from front to back on both sides. Someone even carved thief into the driver's side door. I didn't have cameras, but I knew who did it. I didn't file a police report right away. I wanted to be sure. So I installed motion cameras all around the property. Spent a couple $100 and one long weekend setting them up. 3 nights later, I caught them. Bree was the one doing it. Around 2 a.m., hood pulled low, walking up the driveway and spraying something across my garage door. It was paint. Red paint. And she wrote, "You stole our lives." I downloaded the footage. Sent it to my lawyer and the police. They brought her in for questioning. She denied it, of course. Said it wasn't her. Claimed it was probably some homeless person. But the cops had her on tape. The charges weren't major vandalism, trespassing, but it was enough to get a restraining order. Now she wasn't allowed within 300 feet of the house. But that didn't stop Adam. The next week, I found him waiting for me outside the grocery store. He didn't look angry. He looked tired. Real tired. He walked up slow, hands in his jacket. "Dad, can we talk?" I looked at him. Didn't say a word. "I didn't know Bree did all that," he said. "The paint, the truck, I swear I didn't know." I still didn't say anything. He stepped closer. "She's not handling this well. But the girls keep asking about you. They miss you. They don't understand what's happening. They cry every night." I finally spoke. "You could have stopped this a long time ago, Adam." He looked down. "I know. I screwed up. But I didn't know how to fix it." "You don't fix this with words," I said. "You fix it by standing up to your wife. You fix it by showing your daughters what's right. You fix it by being the man I raised, not the coward who stood behind the curtain while I ate cake in a parking lot." He didn't say anything for a long time. Then he whispered, "She's talking about leaving me." That surprised me. But I didn't say anything. "She says I'm useless now. That I let my dad bully us out of our home." I laughed short and bitter. "You bullied yourselves out. I just stopped letting you use me." He nodded like he expected that. Then he looked me in the eye. "Can I bring the girls to see you? Just me and them?" I hesitated. I didn't trust him. But the thought of seeing Maddie and Chloe again without Bree around, it hit me hard. I finally said, "Once. Just once. You show up alone, no lies, no tricks." That Sunday, he brought them over. They came running through the yard like nothing had ever happened. They hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe. We played in the backyard for hours. I grilled hot dogs. We made ice cream sundaes. They laughed like they used to. For a little while, I felt like I had my family back. But the next day, Bree posted again. This time, she included a blurry photo of the girls in my backyard. The caption said, "My ex-father-in-law thinks he can buy love with burgers and ice cream. He'll never erase me." That's when I realized what was happening. She was setting up a case. Custody. Control. She wanted to frame me as some manipulative grandparent trying to steal her children. And Adam? He didn't stop her. That night, I got a call from a CPS agent. They said they got an anonymous tip that I was mentally unstable and unsafe to be around children. Second time someone tried to weaponize my age against me. This time I had evidence. Video, screenshots, logs, and witness statements from neighbors. I gave them everything. They cleared me in less than 48 hours. But now I was done. No more waiting. No more playing defense. Bree wanted a war? She was about to get one. I started digging. Not just into her lies, into her whole damn past. Where she worked, who she burned, what she was hiding. And I found something. Something big. Something that would tear everything she built right out from under her. What I found changed everything. It started with a name I didn't recognize, Mark Vega, on one of the old messages Bree sent her friend years ago, back when she was still working. Something about keeping things quiet while Mark handles the paperwork. I had no idea who Mark was, but I wasn't about to let it slide. So I hired someone. Private investigator. I never thought I'd do that kind of thing. Felt like something rich people do. But I wanted answers. I paid the guy a flat fee and gave him everything I had. Less than a week later, he handed me a file. Turns out, Mark Vega was Bree's old boss. And more than that, he was the guy who helped her set up a fake business under Adam's name about 5 years ago. She listed Adam as the registered owner of a shell company, ran fake payroll, and used it to apply for government loans during the pandemic. Fraud. Tens of thousands of dollars. She kept the money. Didn't tell Adam a damn thing. Used it to remodel their kitchen and buy herself a new SUV. Her name never showed up on the paperwork, but Adam's did. And now the IRS was starting to sniff around. There was a lien filed. Quiet, but it was there. I asked my lawyer what would happen if I reported it. She looked me in the eye and said, "You'd be doing the government a favor. And Adam's name is on it, so he's legally responsible unless he can prove he didn't know." I thought about it long and hard. This would burn them both. Adam would go down with her. And yeah, I was angry, still bitter, but he's still my son. So I gave Adam one last chance. I asked him to meet me at a diner outside of town. Neutral ground. No Bree. Just him. He showed up late, looking nervous. Sat across from me and fidgeted with the salt shaker. "I know about the fake company," I said. He went pale. "I know you didn't come up with it. I know she used your name." He didn't deny it. Just stared down at the table. "Why didn't you stop her?" I asked. "I didn't know until a year ago," he said. "She told me it was all cleaned up." "It's not. There's a lien. You're the one they're coming after." He put his hands on his head. "What do you want me to do?" "Walk away from her," I said. "File for full custody. Move on. Be a father. Be my son again." He sat there for a long time. Then he said something I didn't expect. "She said if I leave, she'll say I abused her. She's already told people that. She said she has texts she faked, stuff she wrote to herself pretending it was from me." My stomach turned. "She told me if I ever take her to court, she'll ruin me." I leaned forward. "She can't ruin you if we ruin her first." He looked up. "I have proof. Not just of the fraud. I've got screenshots, timelines, witness statements. If we take this to the feds before she does anything, you can file a statement saying you were unaware. You can save yourself. But you have to cut her off. You have to stop letting her control everything." He nodded. Slowly. 2 weeks later, Adam met with my lawyer. He signed an affidavit. We sent the full file to the IRS and the FBI. The fallout was fast. Bree was arrested for wire fraud, falsifying government documents, and identity theft. Turns out she did the same thing to a cousin a few years back. She had a pattern. The feds were more than happy to build a case. Adam filed for divorce and full custody the same week she was arraigned. He used every bit of my lawyer's file. The texts, the voice recordings, the witness list. Bree's own co-worker testified against her. The court ruled in Adam's favor. Full custody. Bree was only allowed supervised visits until her case was resolved. And me? I got the girls back. They moved into the house with Adam. We built a small in-law suite above the garage where I live now. I see them every day. I pack their lunches. I walk them to the bus stop. They hug me like they never stopped. Adam's not off the hook. We still don't talk about what he let happen. Not yet. That scar's still there. But he shows up now. He puts the girls first. He's finally becoming the man I raised him to be. As for Bree, she's in prison awaiting trial. The sentence could be up to 20 years. Even if she gets less, she's already lost everything. She tried to destroy me, twist the family apart, humiliate me, erase me, turn my grandkids against me. But in the end, she lost her home. She lost her kids. She lost her freedom. And I got my life back. It wasn't clean. It wasn't easy. I did things I never imagined I'd do. Maybe I crossed a line. Maybe I should have forgiven more, fought less. But when someone tries to poison the roots of your family tree, you cut them out before the rot spreads. And that's exactly what I did.